I'll be honest, you're probably doing this human thing wrong. And let me explain to you why as I tell you the differences between a human and an animal. Looking at the two extremes of a continuum in regards to humans and animals, what's the difference? We have one side that thinks animals have no souls and the inferior lives for the sake of the superior. The superior being the apex, that's just at the top of the chain, while the inferior being animals and other organisms in the planet are there to serve us. And then on the other side of the coin, there are people that say that animals, have souls, they have emotions, they are just like humans and they deserve rights, blah blah blah. However, this is not looking at what actually makes us different. What makes us and animals different, with a sober mind or without attachment to either humans or animals, is the rationality and ability to conversate to levels that is beyond our own being. Meaning, we can think about things outside of us. We can think about the existence of God, talk about it. We can have our dreams or aspirations. A dog doesn't say to a dog, I want to be the king of dogs, right? Maybe he actively acts this out, but they don't have the communication in place to kind of find out more about each other. An animal will simply go do that thing. He will challenge the other dogs and then prove himself to be the strongest, mightiest, and thus become the king of dogs. It's more straightforward, and to be honest, this kind of animalistic approach would help a lot of people achieve their goals better. Which is funny to think about considering what I'm about to drop on you, but no spoilers. So just to touch on it a little more, what does this actually mean for us humans? We have the ability to process, understand, and think about things that are outside of our reality, outside of our sight. We may think about another affair that's happening in another continent, another country, across the sea, across the world, which in a place that we may never even go to. We may feel feelings towards these people that we've never encountered. An animal will kind of rely more on what they know. An animal will rely more on instincts rather than attempting something new. Some may say that it is foolish to try something new if what we are already doing is working. And in some regards you could say that it is the case. But a bear goes to the river, the flowing river, and he knows that he can hunt fish, and he does so, and he's successful at it. He gets his belly full, but he doesn't know that there could be another method, another mechanic to do it. He doesn't try to impede the path with nets. He doesn't fabricate things. He doesn't think outside of the box. A human would see something and try to reform it, try to implement different rules, different effective methods of achieving this end goal that they are pursuing. So a human may say, okay, we can catch them with a hand, but it's kind of hard. We need something that's a bit more easy to get. So they get a spear. They get a spear and they say, okay, we can shank it quite well, and it's like nice. But it's kind of hard to hit, it's a small pointy thing and we're having a hard time catching it. We are catching it, but we could catch more probably, and you desire more and more. So you craft a way, considering the problems, and you say, okay, let's have a big area where we can kind of catch them when they are running through the river and not even have to do any of the work. Now, this desire for more was a driving reason for making us the apex. In terms of physical attributes, we are obviously far from superior. Tigers, lions, elephants, many animals out there would mop the floor with us, would absolutely destroy us. The toughest of our soldiers, of our fighters, will not stand a chance against a tiger, for example. There is not one human that can 1v1 a tiger with like naked hands and like a starving tiger, not one that's sedated by the zoo. Then there are other animals that have great senses like smell and all of these things. The ants, they can speak or whatever with their antennas and send signals, and they're super perceptive of threats and things coming their way. They have huge survival kits to themselves that put them above us, in many leagues above us in terms of physical things. So the obvious things that sets us aside is our intelligence. But our intelligence comes not from actually being smart or big brain, whatever. No, it comes from the fact that we can pass down knowledge. An animal will learn something and then that's it. The next animal will have to learn the same thing all over again. We may give hundreds of years worth of knowledge in a few books. See what is effective to teach, see what isn't through the generations as they go by. Adapt everything to a higher degree of quality and achieve absolute mastery from young ages nowadays. Be it in artistic rituals or in combat mechanics or in learning different things. And humans are foolish enough to try new things. We are creative and we try to see if maybe we can break some rules of physics or whatnot, and we try to see what we can discover. So something may work, and the saying goes, if it works, don't touch it. But it's because we've touched things. We continue to do them even if they worked, just so that they could work better, just so we could find out more about the world. And our ability or eagerness or pride and our desire to do more is what drove us to the number one spot, to the superior beings. Animals don't have this sort of progress and evolution. And in this sense, there are many humans that are animals. They do not make any significant progress in their life. They just live. They get through the day to day without really thinking. And it seems like they do not reason either. They do not ponder about the fact that maybe they are being used or manipulated by somebody else. Not necessarily the government and the high force that's out there. It could be as simple as their wife, but not many people sit down to think about it. And of course, the number one thing that I want to say is that humans are not rational, because if we were rational, we wouldn't self-harm in our lifestyles. Self-harming in an actual way. I'm not talking about cutting your body, whatever. I'm talking about eating food that is processed, that is clearly bad for you, poisoning you, bloating you. We shouldn't be bloated. It is taking substances for the sake of fun and entertainment, which are altering our mental state, which are damaging us, which are making our hormones spike up and down, or dopamine up and down, and thus creating huge confusion within our body. It is laying around all day, wasting time, letting our attention go astray, far from us, from our control, for a long period of time each day. It is manipulating other people, because in harming we are also harmed in ourselves, and slipping around and letting go of our soul and becoming less in touch with what could make us feel more fulfilled. You may not have thought about it this way before, but you are self-harming in many ways. But we are not perfect, and it's not a dig at you. I self-harm as well. And I discover things sometimes like this fabric is bad for men to wear, and I realize that, oh shit, I'm indirectly using this, and I'm directly using this, and I'm indirectly harming myself without my knowledge. And I try to fix some things, but every now and then I still, break my diet a little bit. I still eat a bit of this, a bit of that. And this all comes from kind of the same thing that has made us evolve thus far. Our desire for more, or desire for fun and for enjoyment of life. It's what's gotten us here. But now we are seeking this at a very cheap level, a very unhealthy level, a very undeserved level. So now you may be asking yourself how to be a human. Well, to cover what we just said, it would be to detoxing your life, detoxing it from the dopamine disparities, the spikes that go up and down in your diet, in your attention span, in everything that you do. It would be to become one and to become more united under your concentration, under what you want to achieve, and your meditation and your spiritual journey, and heading forward at once with your eyes on the goal. To finalize and to speak about what we were saying earlier, it would be to continue evolving and to try out new things. Don't stagnate, don't stand still. There's a dream waiting for you out there, exclusive to you. It doesn't come in the form of number one person in the world, riches, whatever. It comes in the form of something that you want to do, a feeling you want to achieve. But this feeling you want to achieve is not cheap, it's not easy. If it was easy, we would lose the fun. But it is exclusive to you and your experience and your story. Chasing this is what would make you a human, and a great human, in fact. Forever evolving or forever improving, always chasing that ideal of yours. Become human, strive to be 1% better every day, and much love. Quick reminder to fix your posture and take deep breaths into your diaphragm from your nose.